Welcome back to my writer's room, everyone. I am Matt Wallace, YouTube's resident angry writer, and thank you for taking a few minutes out of your precious day to come hang out with me here in my lonely, angry little writerly sanctum. I always appreciate it, I really do. Me not being naked on the vlog is brought to you, as always, by our t-shirt of the day, which is my very vibrant Frankensteiner t-shirt that I got out of my monthly Wrestle Crate. You can see me unbox those over on my wrestling channel, Matt F. and Wallace, if you're into that kind of thing. It is January 10th, 2018, and this is my rendition of Hamshackle Pig chilling in a hot tub. That's what that is. That's the hot tub, and that's the steam rising out of the hot tub, and that's Hamshackle Pig. Just thoroughly unimpressed by the whole experience. But he's chilling in a hot tub because hot tubs are the international symbol for reality television shows. At least they were in the 90s. Maybe they're not anymore, but that's always, when I think of hot tubs, I always think of crappy reality television. And we'll get to why that's relevant in just a second here. I hurt my hand in a charcuterie-related accident the other day. I was opening a fancy block of cheese that was encased in wax, and I literally stabbed myself between my thumb and forefinger. I'm okay though. Didn't require stitches. And it's funny, everybody always makes those jokes about charcuterie, about cheese plates being like adult Lunchables. Like that's a really clever, funny joke that people make. No one ever talks about how Lunchables are charcuterie for children and what a bizarre concept that was before it became a cultural thing. Like, seriously, think about that. Before Lunchables, that concept existed. Someone had to go in to an office at a large food company and go, hey, you know that stuff that, like, really, you know, kind of yuppie-ish adults will order in a tapas bar? What about that, but for little kids? No, hear me out. We take, you know, the fancy cheese and the fancy meats, and instead of that, we do bologna and little tiny Kraft singles, and we market them to children. That's really, and instead of wine, we do juice boxes. Like, and someone okayed that. Someone was like, that's going to be the next thing. You really got to give them a lot of credit for that. That's not a straight line, that idea, between A and B. There were some twists and turns there that people had to get okay with to try this, and it ended up being a huge thing. I know nutritionally and health-wise, Lunchables are basically poison, and like they're terrible for the environment with the packaging and everything, but just like as a mercenary marketing idea, you really got to stop and give whoever came up with that props, because that was bold. That was a bold pitch right there. So the vlog has been a little scattered this week. I don't want to say schizophrenic because I feel like that's a pejorative way to use that term. People actually suffer from that. It's not cool to make light of it. But the vlog has been very scattered this week. I've been trying a lot of different things. I've been trying, like Monday it was 6 minutes, and then the next day I did one of my epic 20-minute ones. And I've been experimenting with editing, and yesterday I did title cards. So I know it's been a little kind of all over the place this week, but that's because I'm still kind of figuring out the direction to go in and the structure that I like and just the way that I like to do the vlog, because I have more options now. The thing was, when I started the vlog 3 months ago or whatever it was, I had no editing skills and no time to do editing and no desire to do editing. So like literally the only creative choice I made was to sit here and like not move around while I did the vlog. That was the only choice I had. The rest was dictated that I would turn the camera on, I would talk to the camera, and then I would turn the camera off, and whatever happened between turning it on and off would be what I posted, because I had no other choice. So like this was the only creative choice I made. Now that I've gotten more into editing, and I've gotten more serious about doing this every day and really trying to create quality content instead of just drivel, like I have more choices to make and more options to make, and I have to figure out an actual structure for it. Added to which, I have a lot of, it's hard trying to like take input because so many people want to give it to you when you do something like this. Because it's like my agent, who's a very intelligent guy and has been very supportive of me doing this YouTube channel and this vlog, He was very on me to like make it shorter and tighter if I'm going to do it every day. Like, don't make 15 to 20 minute vlogs because that's like too much of a commitment for people. And there's wisdom there. And then, you know, I did that, and I did Monday, and I shot what I thought was a really good 6.5 minute vlog. And then I had comments telling me it was too short, and other people commenting saying that the editing was unnecessary, like they didn't think the cuts were necessary. And then I do the title cards, which is another suggestion that my agent had, which is you should do title cards to help define the structure and help people go with it, which I thought was a cool idea. So I did that yesterday. And then my wife didn't like that vlog, and she's like, I didn't like the title cards. It didn't. So no matter what I do, someone whose opinion and take I really trust doesn't like it. So I'm still trying to figure out what the hell to do with all this. I appreciate everybody's patience with it. I appreciate you coming along. The core thing about the vlog that will continue, that I started with and will continue no matter what I change about the format, is I'm always going to sit here and try to tell you folks truth. That like uncomfortable truths that need to be told, or just genuine things that would not be readily shared otherwise. Like, that's really the only thing I've seized on here, is I'm going to tell the truth about whatever I talk about. And I'm going to tell the absolute plain, boiled down, no frills, no emotional protection kind of truth. That's what I'm going for. So that's there. That's like the core of it. The shell, I'm still working on. It's like a Dyson sphere around a star. That's really what my vlog is. It's like a Dyson sphere. I don't even know where that came from. Anyway, so I'm working on that. I think I'll end up settling around the 10-minute mark at the end of the day for length at least. Because I feel like that's a comfortable medium between too short and too long. And also, you need to have the 10-minute videos now on YouTube if you want to get that ad revenue, even though I haven't monetized this channel yet. But I know that's a whole thing. You got to make the 10-minute videos. But that's probably where I'll land lengthwise, just naturally. Format-wise, I'm still figuring it out. So just kind of like, just go with me on it. I appreciate your continued support. So I've been watching this really awful reality show. Like, that helps you narrow it down. I've been watching this really awful reality show with my wife, like at night before we go to bed. It's this old VH1 reality show called Tough Love that was like in the early to mid 2000s or whatever. And the reason we've been watching it is because the dude who used to be my wife's assistant years ago was on the show. He was one of the he was on the show, and we're still friends with him and his wife now. He's married and he has a kid. When we were just hanging out with them the other week for some like function, and it reminded her of it, and she wanted to, she'd never seen the show. So I found the show on Amazon, and we've been watching the show and watching his part in it. And it's like, the whole premise of it is there's a matchmaker, this horrible bro dude who's like the best matchmaker in the country, and he assembles a bunch of women with really poor self-esteem and then proceeds to feed into every negative thing they think about themselves under the guise of helping them try to find true love. And my wife's former assistant was in his mid-20s at the time, very good-looking young man with the tats, and he was in a band, so he was like one of the good-looking generic guys. Not calling him generic, but that's absolutely why they cast him in the show. They cast him in the show to be one of the guys they try to hook up with one of the women on the show. And it's terrible, but it's fascinating to watch, knowing him and also having heard the stories that he tells about being on the show. Because he told my wife and me all these stories about when he did the show and just how full of shit the whole thing was. You can watch it and know that it's crap, like most reality shows. But I don't think people honestly understand the depths, still don't understand the depths to which they go to manufacture these things. Because he'll tell us stuff about how basically everything they did was a producer telling him, we want you to do this. And he would constantly, and because the show was about, like, the pretense was trying to get two people to form a real relationship. Like, it wasn't even just a cheap hookup show. They were selling love on the show. So it got really messed up and manipulative, trying to manufacture, like, love between two people in a relationship. So they would constantly want him to do these things, and he would not feel comfortable with a lot of them, and he would say no a lot. And he said whenever he would say no to something, the producers would not, like, outright bribe him, but suddenly they'd be like, hey, Adam, we're throwing a big party for you and all your friends at a suite tonight in one of the fanciest hotels in Beverly Hills. Come down and party. Like, they do shit like that. Like, it became really apparent if he did the things they wanted him to do, he would be rewarded in fantastic extracurricular ways. And, like, it got really deep. Like, they got to the end of the show, and they wanted him to tell the woman that he loved her, and he just flat out refused to do that no matter what they offered him, because he felt like that was a horrible thing to do to another human being when he didn't mean it, and of course it was. But just, like, how effed is that, man? Like, what kind of person do you have to be to go up to someone and say, hey, lie to that person and tell them you love them. I don't care what happens when the cameras are off. But just for right now, tell them that you have intense romantic feelings about them and want to be with them. It doesn't have to be true. Just say it in front of the camera. I don't know how you sleep at night doing that. And of course, this is old hat at this point. We've lived with reality television for, 20 plus years. We know how horrible it is. But just revisiting that and reliving it, and having worked in reality television myself, working like on entertainment shows, like, I know how outright crap it is. Like, I worked on a show where they interviewed media experts about things, and the media experts were all interns from the production company's office, and my job was to write what they said. And I am no media expert, so you can see how many layers of bullshit there were in something like that. It's just stunning how fake all this stuff is. And I guess the reason I found this so relevant is because I'm doing the YouTube thing now. I'm doing the vlog on the channel. And I've talked about this a little bit on Twitter. I haven't talked about it so much on the vlog. But when I got back into the idea of doing this, and I got back into YouTube a few months ago, I started, like, watching what was popular, especially in terms of vloggers, because I was going to do a vlog. So you watch. And it's just stunning how reality television this platform has become and this medium has become. Because the last time I was really into YouTube, watching original YouTube channels, was years ago. Like, at least 6 or 7 years ago, hardcore. Like, I came out to LA when the first big YouTubers were blowing up, and I knew several of them, and I kind of hung out in that scene a little bit. So I watched all the stuff back then, and it was interesting to see what people were coming up with back then, because there was no set format for anything yet. You didn't know, there was no manufactured viral. You didn't know what was gonna break out or what wasn't. So people were genuinely just trying to be creative and come up with new things, even if they were absurd. Even if you look at it and go, that's really base content, they were at least trying to come up with new shit, because there was no established format for it yet. 10 years later, a lot of this medium and this platform has been defined in terms of, like, what gets views. I was just watching, a good example is Harley Morenstein, who is one of the few vloggers I'm still subscribed to, because Harley Morenstein was part of that original crop of really big YouTubers like 10 years ago. Like, Epic Mealtime was one of the first channels that broke that million subscriber barrier, and that was very rare back then. Now, of course, it's way more common. But Harley just did a vlog where he was talking about how this has very much become ViewTube, and to get views, it's become much more like the reality television we've all shunned. That this was supposed to be an alternative to, and it's very sad to me to kind of look around and see that. And I really hope that. And the thing is, it's not everybody. YouTube is a huge platform. Video content, huge on the web, is a huge medium. There are plenty of people out there doing original stuff that doesn't fall into that category, but I'm shocked how little of it, if none of it really, is up there getting those millions of subscribers and trending and being all the top stuff. Like, everybody I see doing that is either doing, like, just really base level, like, stunt stuff, like flying around on a drone or doing skateboarding pranks or just going out in the street and being obnoxious, or everyone's doing the same kind of videos where they react to the same shit. They do a copy of whatever else is trending out there, and then that goes around, and everybody does a version of that video, whether it's like with slime or reacting to a video or whatever the hell it is. Or they're doing, like, diss tracks, which I hate those words coming out of my mouth. Like, talking shit about other YouTubers is a huge subgenre of YouTube now. And all of that stuff is what seems to be very popular, and I find all of it just abhorrent and boring as hell and just really, really sad. Meanwhile, you look at like animation Twitter. Like, there are animators on Twitter doing amazing things with animation, and none of it is ever trending, and it's baffling to me. So I don't know, man. It's in one hand, it's discouraging because I look at what all the top trending shit is and I go, why am I even trying to build anything on this channel? I'm not on this platform. I'm not made for it. I'm never going to be the kind of guy with the kind of content that gets a lot of subscribers or a lot of attention. And then I kind of realized that's okay. Like, this isn't what... Like, I'm not out to be a huge YouTuber. You know, I'm building this platform to support everything else I do, which is writing books and creating television and creating all this other content. So that's kind of okay. And then, like, on the third tier of this emotional cake I'm describing, is like, that's actually good that all the top stuff is so vapid and so similar and such crap, because it creates opportunity to come and do new stuff. So use it as a challenge to make new things is what I tell myself. So I got all that going on. I don't know. It's just something I was thinking about today. The falseness of popular content and how we haven't learned from history at all. How YouTube is just repeating the same stupid mistakes of television in a lot of ways and just porting that medium to it. As much as YouTube creators talk about how we're not TV and TV is downtrending and like this is the new media. It's the same, they're just repackaging the same media and then cannibalizing what they did create 10 years ago. Like, they're not doing anything new with it. So, I don't know. In the meantime, here I sit with my talking head vlog and videos where my wife puts makeup on me, which I've also found out is a rote thing to do too. That's like apparently a big thing, having your girlfriend put makeup on you. Like, that's a video all the big vloggers have all done a version of. I didn't even know that. I just thought... I got my wife a glam bag, and I thought it'd be funny if she tried the makeup out on me because she wanted to wear makeup in the video. So, like, without even meaning to, I joined the trend. That's how trends get you, man. You gotta be careful. They're out there. They're like landmines. You think you're having an original idea, and it turns out you're just participating in a trend. But that's also why, despite not liking all this stuff, it's important to watch it. And at least know what's out there and, like, know what people are doing. So I'm not sad that I did that. I've just been kind of sad about what I found. But, you know, to animation YouTube, to the Harley Morensteins who've learned from their journeys and are doing genuine content and just being themselves and not trying to follow trends. I salute you. You inspire me. And I'm going to try to be more like that, whatever my version of it ends up being. So that's it for today. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the vlog. If you have a question, I'm happy to answer it. We're almost midway through the week. You're getting there. You're getting to the almighty hump day. Hang in there. I'm going to hang in there with you. You cannot be beaten. You are stronger than the forces opposing you. Never forget that. In the meantime, I am Matt Wallace. I'll see you tomorrow.